Don't do that now.
We're rolling.
Am I live?
You're live. There you go. You're up.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I'm live. Finally, episode 2. Welcome to the Curvaceous Diaries. I am your host, Ms. Hill, and you're going to be rocking out with me, curvy ladies. I am going to give you a treat today. I have one of my favorite authors who I just stumbled across. I will say maybe February. I have been looking for authors who write books about curvy women. And I'm just so happy that I stumbled across a wonderful, wonderful author. And her name is Tanzania Glover. So before she comes on, I just happy to be back on. I'm happy to have episode 2. I know it's been a very, very long time. Listen, your girl's been going through some things, so I'm just getting back into the groove of things. But I hope you checked out episode 1. That gives you a brief synopsis of myself, and you get to know who I am somewhat. But you're gonna come along this journey with me because this episode is about body positivity. And I mean, well, not the episode, but this whole thing is about body positivity and just being able to embrace being curvy. So I'm just waiting for my guests to come on. But yeah, I'm very excited to be back on, and I'm grateful. I just want to thank everybody for rocking out with me, those who supported me. I'm just truly, truly, truly grateful. And I am using a new stream, so just rock with me while I get in the hang of things. And yeah, so the author that I am going to be interviewing is author Tanzania Glover, and this topic is going to be awesome. And Tanzania Glover lives in Chicago, Illinois. She is a blogger, a pop culture critic, an amateur chef. So I want to talk about this food thing because I love food. And she is going to talk about her platform, and we're going to talk beyond the curves and beyond the author. So I'm really excited about that. So just bear with me one second, y'all. I'm going to try to get her on. I know I'm trying to get used to this whole YouTube blogging thing, but I'm going to let me just get in. So the first book that I read from her was Thickerella. Like I said, I've been on a journey to find books based on curvy women. So I started off, this is a series. So there's Thickerella, there's Sleeping Cutie, and then there's Trapunzel. So I've only read these 2. And she was like, well, you didn't get Sleeping Cutie. So Sleeping Cutie is my next thing. So they all tie in. But she's written other books as well. But my objective today is to talk about beyond the curves and beyond the author. So I'm going to try to get her in. Bear with me, y'all. I'm going to try to get this thing moving and grooving. And we are about to be on, so I'm just excited. Am I still on? I'm just trying to see where I am. I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. I'm still trying to get in. Give me 1 second. We'll be right back.
What can we do?
All right, everyone. We are back on to the Curvaceous Diaries. I was just trying to get my guests situated. We got some time conflictions, so it's all good. But anywho, back to what I was saying. This book right here, this is my favorite. This is my favorite book. So I just want to ask you guys, so those who are in the audience, I'm going to open it up the floor to you guys so that you'll be able to ask questions and so forth, or you can just write in the comments and ask your questions about whatever you want to ask containing the interview. So I'm just glad. I'm just happy that I have episode 2 out. Like I said, everybody bear with me, please, because this is my second episode, and this is the first time I'm streaming. So I'm pretty sure that I'll get better as the time goes by. But yeah, so just bear with me, y'all. I'm gonna keep y'all entertained, and we're gonna get back to it.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. Hi.
Hi. I'm so
And I
sorry.
put my crown on today, see, to represent what it's okay. It is A-okay.
I got a magical wand around here somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I'm so
All right,
mad.
so we're gonna get ready to go live soon.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm still trying to get the hang of
I am so
StreamYard.
sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing today. Today was just one of those days. I'm just like, it will be today.
Listen, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna listen.
Okay.
It's all gonna be an episode. All right, so I'm getting ready to.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Do you need me to go live or something?
Yeah, you can if you want to, but
I don't know how to do. I'm sorry. I've never done that before.
all right. Don't need. All right, we are live. All right, I had to figure everything out. Are you good?
I think I am. I
You
hope
good?
so.
Okay. All right. So I was giving everybody a brief introduction. Like I said, this is my first time using StreamYard. This is my second episode of the Curvaceous Diaries. So today I have author Tanzania Glover. And before we jump into anything, I want to talk about how I found you.
Okay.
So, how I found you was I've been looking for authors who write stories relatable to number one, Black women and curvy women. So when
Okay.
I came across like looking for books, your book
Oh.
came up, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to read it.
Okay.
So I was so excited because I've been reading different authors, like I said, that write books about curvy women. And I was really excited when I came across your book. And when I thought about it, the first image that came to my head from this book, of course, is Cinderella. I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, Cinderella. But when I read the book, I felt so many connections to your character, to the character that you wrote in this book.
Thank you.
And I was just really, really inspired by reading this book. Really inspired. And then I was like, all right, so then I'm gonna get this book.
Okay. Well, that's book 3.
Yes, which I didn't get book 2 yet, but I got it the way Amazon gave it to me. It was not in the right order.
I know. A lot of people do that, and it's so funny to me because I've had people start out with Rapunzel
Mm-hmm.
and not realize it was book 3. I'm like,
Right,
I should put that on the front cover somewhere because it's on the side cover, but I just realized that, right, if you don't have the physical book, you don't see that.
right,
So,
right. And so
yeah.
I was just like, okay, you know, let me or I'm gonna order Sleeping Cutie because I've read so many books. I'm going to get to that part, but I want to introduce everybody to you first.
Okay.
So Tanzania Glover lives in Chicago, Illinois. She's
Oh,
a
Lord.
blogger, pop culture critic, amateur chef, in a tiny house. And how do you say that word?
Enthusiast.
Enthusiast? Yes,
Yeah.
sorry. Find
No,
her on all social medias platforms at Tan Said What.
yes.
Sorry, girl, my brain ain't braining right now.
It is
Forgive
fine.
me. Forgive me. But yes.
I
So
gotta update that. You just reminded me. I have to update that.
okay, we gotta update that one.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna update that. So let's talk about that. So first and foremost, what inspired you to become an author?
Ooh. My aunt Tracy would smack me down if I did not say her because when I was 4 years old, she gave me the entire Dr. Seuss collection, and I ran through those. I felt such an accomplishment when I finished my first book.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept reading, and soon enough, every gift I got was books or some money for some books or book fairs at school. I just had books everywhere. I'm at a huge wagon, just was super tall of books. So I always have to say her because she did spark it. And she
Mm-hmm.
was a reader, and she was reading like the grown books, like the Terry McMillans, Eric Jerome Dickies.
Mm-hmm.
So I started sneaking and reading notes when I got to like sixth grade. But she didn't care. She just loved that I loved, books. So my mother kept me in books for every occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I just always had a love of reading. And when I got to seventh grade, like a lot of us millennials in this age group, I was obsessed with B2K.
Yes. Mike, how old are you, if you mind me asking?
I'm 34 years old.
I'm 35.
Okay, so
So
you very,
I already
so
know.
you right in there.
Mm-hmm.
A girl, and I actually just saw her profile on Facebook the other day. She introduced me to B2K fan fiction, and I have never looked back. Shout out to Crystal if you're watching. Uh, so I was like, I could do this. And I just started writing, and people loved it. I got in so much trouble in school for like passing around like stuff that I'm just writing in class. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
do your work. Don't be writing this, sex scene in seventh grade. But I've been writing since then.
I was writing erotic. Listen,
Listen,
our
you
listen.
know,
I used to sneak reading Zane books. My sister
oh
used to be like,
yes,
sorry, Michelle, but I
yes.
used to read the Zane books, so I understand.
Listen, who else I used to read? Michael Baveson. I remember in sixth grade, one of my teachers took the Man Is Man for me. And he's like, you shouldn't be reading this book. And I should not have been. But I was so happy because my mother was like, I'm going to teacher conference. Give her book back. She just wanted me to read. She just loved I stay out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would rather her be reading about it than her doing it. So she did not care. Um, but yeah, I've always loved books. I always got lost in books. So it just kind of came natural. I finished my first real book at 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just kept writing, and I actually stopped writing for a while when I went to college. Like pretty much everybody else, we had so much reading to do for school. I did not have time to read for pleasure anymore, so I stopped reading and writing for pleasure. But what was that? 2013. It was a lot. I was switching Wi-Fi. It was a lot of stuff going on this weekend, and it couldn't come out until the following week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm bored, and I just started back writing, and I have not stopped since. So I officially published 2018.
Wow.
So I started my publishing company 2021, and which is Booking with Love. And I reached that title because my mother, I was like, if like you see me, you know she can cook. She cooks
Mm-hmm.
for love. I can't cook worth a damn, which is why I always say
Honey.
I'm an amateur chef. I cannot cook. Um, but I book with love. So
Mm-hmm.
booking with love. Um, And that pretty much gets us up to the present right now. I found my love for it again. I found the indie black romance community, which is so beautiful, so inviting. We have our drama, but we love each other.
Hmm.
And it's I just find a new one every day. Like you will never like. I always see complaints like, oh, like where's like the old school like black
Yes.
romance?
Yes.
It's here. You just gotta look
Right.
for it. It's
Right.
like the indie girls have it.
Right. And that's so important. I've thought about that a lot as far as finding black romance,
Hmm.
because everything is like gang bang, or I'm a, ride or die for my man, which I mean that's fine, but I think to bring light to black love and show
Hmm.
it in a positive light
Hmm.
means everything. And that has been like my journey as far as being a reader, is finding things that exemplify black love
Yeah,
and
yeah.
body positivity and being able to accept your curves and accept who you are as a person. And that was when I found your book, I was like, yes. And shout out also to Alexandria House, who's
Oh yeah,
another
her. Yes,
another person who I truly love.
yeah. She represents well.
Yes, she does. And so when I found you, so I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And there are other authors
Oh,
as
there are too many to name right now.
right, right. There's
There are
other
so many. Yes.
authors as well, but I felt a real connection from reading her books and from reading the ones that I have. I'm waiting to read Waiting on Wendy.
Oh Lord, that is a tearjerker.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
That is a tearjerker.
I'm ready. But I've been having a hard time trying to find it on Audibles.
Okay, my apologies. No. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some behind the scenes real quick. Just
Okay.
some tea.
Okay.
These audiobooks are very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. So when you pay out of pocket, okay, so I'll give you a rundown.
Okay.
Waiting on Wendy's audiobook was about $2,500 to produce. So I went out and found Wesley Siobhan. She is
Amazing.
so talented,
Amazing.
and she is worth every penny. So I'm not complaining about the price.
Right.
I am complaining about the system with using Amazon and Audible, where they require you to be exclusive and they only give you 40% of your profits.
Wow.
So it's like I'm paying for everything and you're only giving me 40%?
Right.
That makes no sense. And I still have to do all the marketing and everything else. So me with my own website said, okay, I can figure this out. And shout out to Jay and Shuri. She put me up on game. You can put this on your own and check out her books. You will love them too. Oh my God, talk about erotica. But
Yes. Okay. Now I'm hooked.
but she put me on game and she's like, yeah, this is highway robbery. So I have made the decision to put all of my digital content on my own website, because you have, and this is no disrespect to readers, because I know we all love these books, but you can't be like reading a book, loving it, and then returning it.
Mhm.
Like it's one thing if you don't like it,
Right.
but there were like groups of people returning, getting it, like your whole catalog, buy it, return it, buy it, return it. It's like that is starting to get costly because I got to give that money back because they've already paid me, so I'm in the red, and it gets real complicated behind the scenes. But I mean, I love that people love the books and want them, but I would like to reap some of the benefits from my books. And like I said, I'm just trying to break even.
I don't
So
blame you. I do not blame
I'm
you.
like, I'm just trying to break even at this point because these books get very expensive. But it's love that I've never experienced before because I kind of like forgot about the book community for
Hmm.
years and years and years, like, during my college years and beyond. And to come back and see that, like, oh, it's bigger, it's blacker, it's everything that I am. Like, because like you were just talking about street lit, like
Mm-hmm.
there is something for every black reader.
Yes.
No matter who you are, you can find yourself on a cover now. I think that is so beautiful
Yes.
because back in the day we didn't have that.
Right.
That's why
Absolutely.
I'm very particular with my book covers because I want to represent every kind of black woman.
And I was just about to get into this, y'all. This book cover is absolutely
Thank you so much.
beautiful.
I love it. I love it so much.
Beautiful.
I have so much fun making these
Beautiful.
too.
Beautiful. Even the
Wendy,
waiting on Wendy. Beautiful.
thank
I've done my little research on you and stuff, and
okay.
your
I'm like,
your
what you
book
find out?
covers are. I ain't find out no juice. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
But I'm just joking. But absolutely beautiful. So shout out to your illustrators who design the images for your books. And how did you decide, like, okay, this is what I want to use, or how did you come up with the ideas for what you
It,
want your
it
books to look
it's
like?
different for each book or series.
Mm-hmm.
For those, what was I looking at? I was looking at The Devil Wears Prada,
Mm-hmm.
that cover, and I had like a big shoe in mine with like a little thick foot. And I'm like, no, we
Mm-hmm.
want some leg in there too.
That leg is kicking, girl.
And we found some pictures and some inspiration pictures. I love to like pull from like a bunch of different pictures, like the Wendy cover deconstructed. It's like so on my page I'll show behind the cover, and I'll
Yes.
show where I found the inspiration for each piece. And it amazes me so much where these artists will put it all together and it looks like an original. He's like, oh my god, I see the skyscape or the, from this picture, like the pose from this picture, the clothes, the hair from this picture. Like, I just point because I can't draw. I want to learn. I
Stick figures,
used to
girl.
draw a little, but I'm like, I have so many ideas and it's so hard to translate it. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's not what I wanted, but it's so beautiful. I still have to use it because
Right.
it's very hard to like say, oh, I want this, or I can't find the right picture. But I love them all so much. And I actually just found a brand new artist, and she does her own book covers, and I'm in love with hers. Takara Martin, and
Mm-hmm.
start working together soon. I'm just like, if you can do for me what you've done for yourself, ma'am. And she has amazing books. I was actually drawn to one because I'm like, this is like Blue Wendy. It is so pretty. So
Your artwork is
I'm always
absolutely
on the hunt for
beautiful.
a brand new artist, because I don't want them to look the same. I want them to look cohesive, but I'm always on the hunt for like a brand new artist.
Yeah, your artwork is absolutely beautiful. So shout out to all of the illustrators that work with you for your book covers because they're absolutely breathtaking and beautiful. So what I wanted to ask you is number one, before we talk about the reason why the Curvaceous Diaries beyond the author, I want to talk about how you start the process of your books. So how do you develop your characters and your plots? And how do you go about that process?
Okay, so we'll use the gorilla for example. Okay,
Okay.
so I always joke because I'm, pretty much like everybody else. I'm always on the internet. I was on Lipstick Alley one day, and I know we're not supposed to bring that up, but I always have to.
Mm-hmm.
I literally started. I was watching a video clip about barbers who sexually harass their female clients.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw a lot of women with short cuts going to female barbers for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why it just stuck with me. I was thinking like, oh well, what if there was a barber who was the exact opposite of that? It was very polite and flirty, but he was respectful. The girl was born. It was just a girl and her barber, and it was gonna be called Fade. Just super simple. Then I'm like, around that time, I don't know if you remember, there was a lot of backlash to Lizzo and some of her, um, like, I guess you could say, like, her gimmicks
Hmm.
in the media, which is not any different from any other pop star.
Thank you.
I
Thank
just
you.
I saw like the visceral reaction to it, and I have friends who have written plus size books before, and I just hadn't since I was younger.
Hmm.
I thought, let me make this girl plus size too, and show that um, there's nothing wrong with being a plus size woman. Like it's, there are a lot of us now, especially these days,
Hello.
and it just went from series seem to be popping these days.
Hmm.
So let me see how I could turn this into a series, and it just went from there. And I was like, this is kind of giving Cinderella a little bit, like the way her family is treating her. And it went from, okay, so I'm gonna turn this series into fairy tales, and before I knew it, I was knee deep in retellings, and that's kind of become like my whole brand now. A lot of people don't even like realize that I've wrote books before the gorilla, because that's uh like my brand pretty much now. But I love it so much. I lean into the fairy tale branding because that's what I write anyway. I want all of my black women to live happily ever after.
Yes. Black love.
Yes. Um, but more than that, I want black love for ourselves. I want black women to chase that love internally,
Yes.
because you can find it externally. Like you got hopefully till 100 plus. You can find
Right.
it any age, but the most important love is you loving yourself and knowing that you deserve the world before you even get it from somebody else.
Right. And I think that is so important to talk about because we deserve love. And it may not come in a perfect form as for y'all. Y'all need to
Hmm.
get the book series to read. It doesn't happen because, for instance, this book, I was like, God, please let me find a man. Like, because her obstacles that the character went through to find love. And number one, she was very confident in herself. But for
Hmm.
her to be treated with the love that she deserves,
Yeah.
it was just, and then you kind of see things unravel with her character of
Yeah.
her really finding out, yeah, I may portray to be confident, but I still have these insecurities that I
Yeah.
need to work on. I still have this trauma that I need to
Get
get
through.
through. Even though I carry myself in confidence and I am a plus size woman, there's still this little girl that needs to heal
Yeah.
within me. But then you have this knight in shining armor man who's fine,
Yes.
you know, brings light into her and helps her to realize how beautiful she is. And let's not even get, I mean, I want, so that's everybody. This is why I have my crown on because, I'm feeling the princess vibes,
Yeah.
especially from this series. Because like I said, this was like, this book was amazing. But also, let's talk about the ball. The
Okay.
ball, from the details of the ball, like, first
Listen,
of all, I wish a man threw me a ball.
if a man threw me a ball, that's it.
Okay, I'll marry
That's
you. We're gonna have 8 children.
That's
I'll give
it.
you the world.
That's it.
Like, he gave her a ball, and I can't tell y'all everything that happened
He's he
with the
he
situation,
he stood
but
on business for her in every sense of the word.
yes.
He didn't
Now,
let
can I ask
anybody.
you a question?
Oh
Do
yes.
you what character in from all of the books that you've read? I haven't read all of your books, and my
Hmm.
plan is to by the end of the year to read all of your books. But what character the most do you feel that you connect with?
Okay, so that's so hard because there's a little piece of me in all of them. And they're me at like different stages in life. Or
Okay.
like Tiller and Gorilla was who I wanted to be, right? She went to Atlanta, she went to Spelman, she did graphic design. That's what I thought that I was gonna do with my life.
Wow.
I didn't do that. I got a full ride somewhere else. So I went, so but
What college did you go to?
Denison in Ohio, small
Okay.
liberal arts, long
Okay.
story. So, but my last book actually, Feast, was about a young lady at a small liberal arts college. And so it's like there's a little piece of me in each character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, don't read into it too much because some people are like, oh my God, have you gone through that? No, 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 no. As far as like their traits, I'm like, no, if I went through the stuff these characters went through, I would need a lot more therapy.
Remember when I asked you when I first messaged you, I'm like, how do you know so much about the city? Did you live in New York
Yeah,
City? Then you
no,
talked about Chicago. My first initial thought was you were from Chicago. That
oh
was
yeah,
my first
yeah,
initial thought. Because
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, she's from Chicago. But then I'm like,
yeah,
now she's tapping into Atlanta.
yeah.
So okay, did you
No,
move? So that's why I was like trying to like see if you like lived in each city, but you described the city so well.
thank you so much. My main books are in Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, and Atlanta.
So have
So
you lived in any of those cities
nope,
other than
nope,
no? Have
nope,
you been to any of those cities?
nope,
So you've never been to Atlanta,
nope,
you never been to New York,
nope,
and you've never been to Los Angeles.
nope. I'm going to Atlanta next year for the Black Romance Book Fest. So
Oh, we need to talk about that because I would
yeah,
love to go.
yeah.
Okay. So Atlanta is wonderful. I used to live in Atlanta. My mother was from Georgia. My mother's deceased,
I'm
but
sorry.
my mother was from Georgia, so I've experienced the
Mhm.
South. I love the South, and you're gonna have a good time. Just put it like that.
Okay.
You're gonna have a good time when you
I
go to
hope
the South.
so.
You're
And
gonna have a ball.
I'm planning. Because this is my first book event. I've had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
ups and downs over the years. So this is my first book event. So I'm trying not to blow all of my savings
Mm-hmm.
on a table and building a fairy tale forest in those people's little room. Because I want like a castle behind me. I want the works.
You need a curvy girl. You need like a ball. Like
I
that is my dream to have a curvy girl ball.
I and it's so funny that you said that because I literally have a picture up. I was starting to plan a ball for next year. It was going to be
Wow.
a black romance ball, and I was going to have like a Thickerella Day, a Sleeping Cutie thing, and all of that. But then I got invited to the Black Romance Book Fest. I'm like, that is so weird. Like the same, like, because I was going to call it the Black Romance Ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that is so weird. And it was like within the same time frame and everything. So I'm like, okay, so maybe I'll put that on hold because next year will be 7 years publishing. So I was like,
Wow.
okay,
Congratulations.
thank you. I said, so maybe I'll save the ball for 10 years and just do a big. And I don't know if you saw those prom pictures from this past season of the kids in Florida.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like, yeah,
Where they did the themes for the fairy
yep.
tales. That was
I was like,
that was so dope.
they even had a Thickerella in there, and I'm just like, I cannot touch them. They even had a thick Tiana, Princess and the Frog, and I was like, no,
Yes.
these little kids ate me up before I even started.
They look so good.
So beautiful. I'm like, let me save up for a couple more years and then do
That's
it
my
right.
goal. I would love to do a curvy girl ball, like
Okay.
just with curvy women dressed
Listen,
up in beautiful gowns
have
and
you heard of Danielle Allen's Curvy Girl Summer?
no.
Ma'am, let me.
No, I have
It's
not.
on my shelf. It's on my shelf, but Curvy Girl Summer
Oh,
is
the book Curvy Girls. Yes, it is on
yes.
Audible. That is in my wish list.
Wesley
Yes.
did that as well. Yes. It's
Okay.
yes. You will love that one.
Okay.
You will love that. But as soon as you said a Curvy Girl Ball, I thought Curvy Girl Summer. I would love to be a part of that if
Yes.
you start the
Listen,
planning.
I got so many. Me and you gonna talk off the line because I have
Okay.
so many ideas. Like my goal and objective is to give curvy women a platform to be able to be unapologetic about how you look.
When I say
Okay, like that
I
is my
get
goal.
support from all sizes, of course, and
Yes, of course, of
I love
course.
that. But I love seeing the like plus size women like just come out in abundance. I'm like, oh my god, you are so beautiful. Like I just see so many every day. I can put you in contact. So there's plus size designer who I know,
Okay.
Sasha Walton. She has done fashion shows in Paris. She was like the first black plus size designer in Paris Fashion Week. She's done so much. So many plus size models. There's podcasts. Forgive me for butchering the name, but it's like Pretty Plus and something else. But it's run by Aziza Courtney.
Hmm.
But I have a network of plus size baddies who
Yes,
specialize
let's
in
do it.
everything.
I
So
love. I just love it. Like so for me, I talked about this in my first episode. Like how when you are younger, you're like, oh my god, I'm fat, and then you look back at yourself and you like, I was not fat.
yeah,
I was I was not,
yeah,
and I think for me at this point in my life, I'm learning to accept myself in the form that I am now. Of
hmm
course, I want to be healthy, and that's
hmm
my goal as well, is to talk about health and wellness while being plus size. But
yeah,
just learning to love yourself, embracing everything about yourself,
yeah,
that you don't have to look like what society tells you have to look like, because it's not true,
yeah,
right? And that was my thing, is I wanted to read books about women who I could relate to,
yeah,
not just as far as like characteristics and personality, but like my body.
yeah. That's so important. I
Yes,
I didn't even realize that I didn't have that growing up. Like it was just kind of expected.
right,
So when I did start seeing it, it was like, whoa, I didn't even know this existed.
right. And
Um,
when I started doing my research of books, I was so excited. So my journey of finding books for curvy women, it started in 2021 during the pandemic. Because I'm
okay.
like, okay, I'm not doing anything. I
Yep.
need something to read.
Hmm.
But I tapped into, like, I want to find books about curvy women, and then
Yeah.
that's when I start going on my research, and I start reading books even from not just black women but from other races as well,
Um,
because it's not just in our community, it's in other
yeah.
communities, all
Yeah.
colors as well.
Yeah.
So um that was like my goal, and then I start researching. I'm like, yes, 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 there's a platform for us. And
Yes.
so it just it just made me happy. And my next question to you is, how do you feel as a beautiful black plus size woman? How do you feel society's perception of curvaceous women has changed over time?
Mm, I honestly and like I always joke like I didn't know that the world didn't like plus size women until I got older because that just wasn't my reality for me. And one of my friends like, "Also, you had culture shock," because I grew up with a family full of black plus size women who were getting their money. They were never like seen as like not being desirable. So that was culture shock to me to, and I think because in the black community, like while we do have stigmas with being too plus size, thickness and bigger women are a little bit more accepted for us. Um, but I have seen over time that a lot of the stigmas of like, oh, like if you're with a guy, you must be paying for him or whatever,
Yeah,
like things
that's
like that
crazy.
has gone away. Because I'm like, if you really been with a big girl, you know she costs money, okay?
She got some money. She smelled well. Listen,
No, he no
smell good.
he got some money to keep up with her because these are expensive. And I'm a minimalist and I'm expensive.
What is your sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Me too. Wait a minute. This is just wait a minute, everybody. Tanzania is a Capricorn, and I'm a Capricorn too. When is your birthday?
January 17th.
That is
Are you serious?
my birthday is January 17th,
Oh my God.
1989.
1990.
What in the what in the what
It was
what?
kismet.
January
It was
17th
kismet.
is my birthday.
It was
That's a
kismet.
national holiday.
It is.
What?
Yeah.
I can't believe this. No, I'm really listen. I don't meet a lot of people who have January 17th birthdays. I'm in the
Michelle
Capricorn
Obama.
group on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, you got January 17th birthday, but I only know two people who personally have, no, three people that have the birthday January 17th.
I just
So
know.
you're the fourth person who has the same birthday as my. I can't believe this.
That is cute. I like that.
I cannot believe January 17th. Yes, I was born.
But I always get told I don't act like a Capricorn. It's so weird.
Really? What sign do you get the most?
People just say no because I really think there's like a stereotype of like Mr. Krabs as like a Capricorn, like so stingy with money, so money hungry and all of that. And I'm just kind of chill that I guess people when they find out that I'm a Capricorn, it's like, oh, I would have never thought. But I'm like, no, behind the scenes and in my head, I'm a Capricorn.
Listen, we're stubborn. We know what we want. We don't play
Yep.
games. We're the ice
Yep.
queen. When we're done, we're done.
Listen,
We don't play around. You
listen,
can F around and find out.
listen.
Okay? So I cannot, that's just so mind boggling. Like, I can't believe this. But yes, my birthday is January 17th. Only thing I don't like about my birthday is that, well, our birthday
It's always
is that it's
cold.
cold. And you're
Yep.
from Chicago, so and I'm from the East Coast, so I'm from Connecticut.
Okay.
And like
It's
winter
always
time
cold.
here is just it's bipolar.
It's always cold. Yep.
So that is so crazy. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know, that just blew my mind. That just blew my mind, but that is crazy. So how do you define yourself, like as far as like embracing your body positivity and just yourself?
Well, once I realized you can either be who you are and be happy or be who you are and be miserable, it's like, well, it's literally a choice. You wake up every day and you choose happiness. So it doesn't matter what body I'm in, what skin I'm in. I've had a lot of health issues over the last few years, and that has made me take life. Like I'm just so like I live in gratitude every day now. Because
Yes.
I was not supposed to be here. A couple years ago, they told my family 2 days after my birthday that there was nothing else they could do for me to say your goodbyes. Yes, I'm in a very serious case of COVID. I was in a coma. It was a lot. So I'm like, since then, I've hit the floor running like I was in the hospital, learned how to walk, writing a book.
Oh my God.
I'm like, prop me up, nurses. I have some work to do before I leave here. And it's actually funny because I was thinking I'm never gonna write again. I have nothing else to look forward to. I lost my mother. She passed from COVID at the same time. So when I woke up from my coma, she's gone. I have a ventilator. It was like literally it's a miracle I'm still here. They have no explanation for why I'm still here, but I'm here.
Because God allows you to be here, and your journey is not done.
I always say she traded places with me because she was fine. Like they told her she would be home in a couple weeks. I was the one that was on my way out, and in the blink of an eye, we switched. So I say she wanted y'all to get these books because she believes me more than anybody. She was funding a lot of this stuff before I could fund it. Um, and I always joke when I release a book, my first big check, she would always take it. Like, give me that girl. She would go buy her something nice. So I always think with my first check, like, what am I gonna buy now? Because I can't give it to her. But I'm like, yeah, I was not supposed to be here. So to circle back to your question, I don't care what body this world gets. I'm just glad that they get anybody because I wasn't supposed to be here.
Right.
Um, um, so whether you like it or don't, I do.
That part.
And I'm gonna keep writing these plus books. I'm actually writing the third and final installment to my dance diaries. I don't know if you've seen those.
Yes, I have, and I cannot wait to get the. I'm telling you, I got a whole
Yeah.
bunch. I have a
Yeah.
checklist of books, girl.
And it's so funny because I thought like, and this is me being ignorant. I thought that I would just write the one plus book and just be done.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I've checked off a list. Like, oh, I sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, I have like the one fat girl book and I'm done. Nope, I got bit by the bug, and I'm like, there are so many different types of women, like, and who are plus size by different circumstances.
Right.
So the girls like Tiller who have been chubby since birth, the girls that were thinner and they, had kids and got older, health issues.
Some people have PCOS, which causes weight
Yep.
gain,
There
and
are girls who have been skinny their whole lives and want to get thicker. Like, there are so many different stories to being plus size,
yes,
and I'm going to tell them all. And a lot of people think like when you're bigger, you're limited. Like, so with my dance series, she's a choreographer, she's a dancer. So I'm trying to show that there is no ceiling we can't touch.
correct.
Break through it. We can do it all.
We sure can. And did you recently see the girl who danced with Sierra?
Of course, of course.
And I was like, listen, homegirl killed it.
I got tagged in that so much because people were like, "Oh my God, that is Tempest from the book."
Killed it.
She,
Killed it.
yes, same kind of outfit, everything. I was like, that is so funny because I follow her now, and I'm like, okay, so I have a lot of videos to watch. But it's the last book because I love dance videos. I can't dance either.
Listen, I tried to. I could walk to.
So
I tried
I
to.
love watching people do stuff that I can't do, and I cannot dance. So people are like, "Oh, well, you wrote about this?" Yep, that was research, baby. That was not me. That was Google.
So, how do you uplift people? Because you, of course, you do it through writing, but
Mhm.
just personally, how do you uplift people, in their body positivity journeys? Like, what do you do?
Um, well, I get a lot of DMs from readers who are reading my books and saying like, "Oh, I finally believe that I deserve something like this," and that is my number one goal. So I feel so good because there are a lot of women who have been told by society that they don't deserve love or a certain kind of love or a certain quality of mate. So I'm kind of breadcrumbing it, like with these books, like trying to plant the seeds. Like, okay, you may not get a billionaire, well, whatever, but you deserve the best that you feel is the best for you, like the best of realism, because we all want a billionaire, but there aren't enough.
Hello, yes,
But
especially being a Capricorn.
listen,
I,
but it's like, no, you deserve the best. You are
right,
the best. Like, so let's work on that. Like, you have to believe that you are the best because you are.
right,
So
absolutely.
I try to inject that in first, and then when it comes to the romance and your worthiness, you deserve the best.
And that confidence has to come within.
Yeah.
And that's a process of learning to be comfortable in your own skin. Speaking of
Right.
which, I did a calendar project in 2021, and it was
Okay.
for the 2022 year, and it was called Comfortable in My Own Skin Year of the Curvy Girls. And I
Okay.
took all my plus size friends and I did a photo shoot, and I had them write an objective of what makes them comfortable in their own skin.
Hmm.
And it was so liberating to see women from different sizes of being plus size, because everybody's just not one size, but
Right.
that's what society makes it to be, that we're all just like in one group and then that's it.
And
But
that's
it
what.
was just so good to see people that I knew embrace their curves, and I gave that platform for plus size women to be able to walk in confidence,
Yeah.
you know. And there were some people that were on the shoot that they were like, I don't think I could do this, and I'm like, yes, you can. I
Yeah.
chose you because I felt like you can exemplify that, and you don't know. When I do things, I think about, I don't know who I could help.
Yeah.
You know, I'm being this vessel. I'm taking this big step, this big journey
Yeah.
to be able to open doors to help people who may feel like they don't have a voice or they can't step out and walk in confidence and in their truth. So I try to open platforms to help people. And I'm so thankful that there are people like you who write these stories for women who may feel like, I can't find love because I'm this size. I can't find love because you know, I may feel less than. And for you to
I'm, no, I'm
open these doors, it's just
what I'm glad
amazing.
at is that there are hundreds of Tanzania Glovers now. Uh,
Yes,
because when I started out, I didn't see them, but I went back and I found them. But I can only write so many books a year, so to find out that there are like so many of us now writing these books, there is never a shortage. There are
yes,
hundreds of books. You can find what you want. What do you want them? Shoot them up, bang bang, like you said. You got your urban
right.
fantasy, your paranormal. If you want a werewolf bay and your plus size, there is something for everybody now.
Right, right,
I love that so much because I am contemporary, but the girls are in every genre now, and I think that is so beautiful because that was unheard of just 10 years ago.
right. It was, and it was, even from seeing like Takara model for America's
I
Next Top
have to put her
Model.
in Thicarella because she was an early example for me of just
Yes,
so
yes,
beautiful.
yes. Even even looking at, God rest her soul, but even Anna Nicole Smith, she went
Oh
through a
yeah,
of being she was a
oh yes,
voluptuous,
yes.
tall, plus size woman.
And seeing how the world treated her was
Right.
Jesus.
When she gained weight,
Yes.
they didn't treat her, but she was not like,
Kirstie Alley, for me, looking back, I'm like, I didn't realize.
yes,
Yes, but just like I guess I internalized that without realizing because I was like, wait, I like remember those stories of these people and like seeing like the National Enquirer with like the pictures of them, like when Tyra Banks uh, put on a few pounds and it was the end of the world and she's no longer a supermodel and it's like because
and
she
they have ugly images of her at the beach, like,
and it was just like your life does not end because you put on a few pounds.
exactly. How do you feel about how the media portrays just body positivity in images? Because now girls are getting BBLs and tummy tucks, and I'm a teacher, so when I have young
Yeah,
girls tell me, I want to look like this, and I'm like, this is not realistic. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And how do you feel about that?
I think it's gotten better in some areas and worse in others. Like I just saw the response to Ashanti, her pregnancy pictures going viral the other day, and I'm just like, this lady is bringing new life into this world. And instead of being concerned, like because she could have preeclampsia or some disorder where she is swollen, which could be dangerous during pregnancy. We're talking
Absolutely.
about her snapback. Will she be able to snap back? I'm just like, women, pregnant women, can't even exist in a bare body without people criticizing. And she looked beautiful,
She looks
goddess,
beautiful and happy.
just as beautiful as she's always looked.
Yes.
But because she was in a bigger body now we have to talk bad about it. And I'm just like, if y'all would just mind y'all all business when it comes to people's bodies, the world will be a better place.
It will. It will be a better place, and this is normal. Like, you gain weight when you have a kid, and you I don't like the fact that you have to rush just to get a snap back.
Yeah,
Just, you have to take time being a mother,
yeah,
and that also in your book, Dickarella, with Tiller's cousin Jordan,
yes,
who talks about, like, when she was younger, she was, I imagine, nice slim girl,
yeah,
nice shape. She gets married, she's not able,
yeah,
she picked that Tiller, but then now you're kind of in a situation
yeah,
where now you're wearing the shoes. So I like that you put that in the books, that just reminiscing on, from our conversation and talking about now, that brought me back, like, okay, you made fun of this girl, but now you're in the shoes.
yeah.
It flip flop.
I just want to show that we are like, some of us might look the same, but how we got here is different.
Right.
And some will stay here, some won't, because there's nothing wrong with losing weight, especially if you have any health concerns or if you just want to change.
Right.
But it's about not disparaging people who are still in bigger bodies.
Right. And I think that's an important thing to highlight. Very, very, very important. And what changes would you, not only as the author, but as a beautiful Black woman, what changes would you like to see happen within the plus size community and just the world itself, how people see plus size women?
I will honestly tell, and excuse my French, tell them to leave us the fuck alone.
Okay.
We don't be bothering nobody. We have our own lives, our careers, our hobbies, kids, husbands, booze, whatever. Like, we are living full lives. And it always baffles me when I see people shocked that a plus size woman is with a certain man, or she is doing a certain career, or she has something that is supposedly like, or should be outside of her reach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, like, do y'all live in the real world? Because that's what's been all around. I mean, right now, those same aunts that I was just talking about are on vacation right now in the Dominican with their booze, with husband, like kids with grandma, like
Who love them for them.
plus size women are
Mm-hmm.
living their lives.
Exactly.
So just live yours and stop the faux concern. Let us and our doctors worry about our health. Because if it was health you were worried about, there's a long list of people to be more concerned about before you get to us. Um,
And speaking of
you
which,
just-
I have not finished the book. I don't mean to cut you off. There's a book called Fearing the Black Body. I don't know if you've read Fearing the Black Body, but Fearing the Black Body is a book. I cannot think of the author's name right now. Do you remember the author's name? I can't remember her name right now, but she talks about how everything started, like Sabrina who? Sabrina Strings. And
Okay.
she talks about from ancient history up into now about how, you know, being a plus size person, how it impacted like throughout centuries, right? Because at some point in time, being plus size was luxury and,
Yeah,
and then it changed. And she also breaks down BMI, how BMI is basically bullshit.
yeah,
So that's BMI was a whole made up systematic thing to separate races and to put emphasis on, oh, okay, if you're this particular race, you need to lose this weight, ethnicity, and so forth. So that's a really, really good book to look into, because she breaks that down. And I was very, very shocked. I'm not done with that, because that's a book you have to dissect.
yeah,
So that is actually a good book to read. But with you saying that, is you can be plus size and be healthy.
yeah. I would say fit and thick is what that should stand for.
Yes.
Because you can
Yep.
be fit. Yeah.
Yes. So how do you deal with criticism as far as with yourself and from what you write?
Uh, Sorry, what was the last part?
So how do you deal with criticism as far as from like what you write and who you are as a person?
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say like personally, I guess people just know better.
That's that Capricorn.
I don't,
What
I
you
don't,
say?
I don't get too many comments that were not asked for these days because growing up I got them, but not these days. Um, but as far as my writing, not everybody will like what you write, and that's fine. I I do see. I've pointed this out with my plus size characters. I've noticed that the more confident ones, like Tiller, are very polarizing. Like you either love her or you hate her. But the ones that are more meek and have to come into their own and have to find their self esteem, those are more warmly regarded. So it's like because it's a typical, and I actually did like an experiment with that because I wrote like a shy, meek character in my book Laundry Days. She is a gorgeous girl, but she just doesn't believe it. So she slowly comes, um, and I mean, she still has her hangups about, oh, she wants lipo, this, she wants this. And the character's like, girl, like, you are perfect. Like, don't change anything. But I noticed that she is loved. She's one of my most loved characters. But Tiller and the Gorilla is like, so many people don't like her. And I'm just like,
They don't like Tiller?
yes, I'm like, oh, y'all would hate me. Like, oh my God, I'm so
So
glad.
I'm gonna tell you, I when I read in the beginning, I was like, okay, Tiller, you're coming off as too confident. But then I realized why
Where it was
he
coming
was
from.
confident.
Yeah.
Once things started to unravel, I'm like, okay, this is why
She
Tiller
she had to build
is,
that block brick by brick.
yes. And
Nobody
then
did
the
it for her.
man, and then the thing about it is when you, like, she played hard to get with
Mhm.
the, with the man, but she really, he really built confidence within her.
Yeah.
But I didn't like this in Trap Hundle. I did not like. I forget his name. Don't get me wrong.
Chase, that's fine.
Chase, because I know they all have C's.
Yeah.
So when Chase called Tiller fat, I was like, I was like,
Oh,
why didn't
oh,
you?
you are in for a rude awakening with this book, Sleeping Cutie. No, and it's and that's another part. Sleeping Cutie, because Thickerella came out 6 months before Sleeping Cutie.
Okay.
So I wanted to mirror what people were saying about Tiller in The Brother in Sleeping Cutie.
Right.
Um, So Chase is light work compared to Chris, but that's one of my most popular books. And
Yeah.
yes, he does a 360. He gets humble. Cam takes care of him. I would just say that because nobody comes at Taylor.
I
But
love
he's
Cam.
he is very reckless. I want him to represent a certain segment of the world who thinks that women are unworthy.
Yeah.
But they love that book. So I'm just like,
So that one is coming in the mail. I
Okay.
can't wait. So I read Thicarella in two
Chipotle.
days,
Okay.
and I read this book in a day.
Okay.
So I couldn't stop. I was reading this
Yeah.
book. I couldn't stop. I think I read this book. No, I read Thicarella when I was getting my hair braided.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm just banging it out. I was like, this is really, really good. But I can't wait. I hope you do put it as an audible or as a like an an audio book
Oh yeah.
because
It's on my website. Yeah.
oh it is so there is an audio book for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who's reading those books if you don't mind me asking?
Okay. The fairy tales are by Robin Isaacs. Love her. She did a phenomenal job with those. I was so scared to dip my foot into like the audio
Okay.
world. She held my hand. She did a great job with those.
Yes.
So,
So I'm gonna check that out.
okay.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. Like I'm really just thankful like that you even gave me this opportunity
Oh
because
no,
this is my second episode and I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope everything works
I'm
out.
nervous. Everything went wrong today. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give her a look. I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna put on some makeup. I'm gonna all the way out the window. I'm like, I'm just blind. Like, okay, I'm a little oil. Look at me. You look gorgeous. I'm like, you know what?
Thank you.
I'm just gonna sit here because we're just gonna talk. But I'm like, I always play it. It never fails. Whenever I have anything to do, I'm like, I always say, I'm gonna finally do a look. I have all this makeup, I have all this stuff, never get to wear it. And I'm just like, it's just not meant to be. It's just not meant
It's
to be.
okay. If it was up to me, I would have had some sweatpants on and
Listen,
like listen.
I always say I'm in my jammies.
Listen.
I'm
So you
warm
could have had a
person.
curvy jammy. You gotta plan that out.
Listen.
So I just want to open up because I'm streaming on Facebook, Instagram, and and StreamYard. So if there's anyone that has questions, I want to open up the floor to
Ooh,
anyone
why
who
did you
has
just remind
any
me that
questions.
we're live? I completely forgot we were live again. I'm so glad. I'm so glad because I was like, watch the most embarrassing thing ever. What happened to me on live? So I'm so glad I was at the end and I just remembered that we're on live.
We're on live. I know, and I have to get used to it because I used to do radio, so it was like
You
so.
definitely have a radio voice. As soon as I started talking, I'm just like, she gives me like, all right, welcome back to Power 105. Like, you
Yeah, I
have
used
a
to do
voice for radio.
radio at a local bootleg radio station once upon a time.
Okay. Well,
And I'm so used to like being behind the scenes. So now that I'm in front of a camera, I'm like, oh, you got to be like, so this is like, sorry, y'all, this is practice for me. This is, you only elevate. But I'm grateful that like you gave me the opportunity because some people are like, oh no, like you don't have these many people on your platform, but thank you for giving me this opportunity because I am a huge fan of yours. Like,
listen,
huge.
you reach out to Alexandra House. She will be on here next. Danielle Allen, whoever, like the indie girls will show up for you.
I've been reaching out to Alexandria. Alexandra, if you hear me right now, like, listen, I need you. I need you too.
Okay. We'll figure out what's going on because she loves stuff like this.
Yeah, I love you. Like, you guys, listen, if I could be an extra in your movie, I'm claiming that y'all gonna be on Netflix, Amazon Prime.
I've already precasted everything, but I will find you a role, okay? I will find you a role, like a prominent role. You are gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, I'm like, I've already dreamcasted all of this stuff. I'm like, you know what? When I get,
Who can you see playing Tiller?
I want Amber Riley so bad, but she's so short. She's
Because
only
Tiller's
five.
tall.
She's 5'3". I'm like, we gotta get her some stilts
Yeah.
because she would kill that role, but she is so short.
So who do you see playing Nick?
Kiki Palmer,
Yes, because
but
attitude.
with like a slight Southern accent because she is from Georgia.
Yes.
But yes, and I had Nafisa Williams for Sleeping Cutie. Yes,
Oh.
I loved her in Burning Sands,
Hmm.
and she a lot of that character. a, a lot of that character went into Sleeping Cutie.
Okay, so who do you have for Waiting on Wendy?
There's a model on Instagram who looks just like Wendy. It is so crazy, and I found her after I did
Hmm.
everything. Her name is Christine something. Lord forgive me, but as far as famous people, we could just give any black actress a puff and she could be Wendy. I actually did Wendy PR boxes.
Hmm.
And I was passing out phony ponies in them, and people love them. I'm like, we can all be Wendy.
Yes.
We can all be Wendy.
I can't wait to read that book. And
It is
I heard
so
it's a
good.
tearjerker.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
from what I'm reading, like when I'm seeing on TikTok, they're like, "Oh, you get ready to get your tissues out."
Yep, I have so many like because I have like the shorter like erotica sort of books, and then I have like the slow burns, and I have like the super thick books, 1,500 page series. So I literally have something for everybody for
And
whatever.
then you have a Christmas book too. I'm gonna read the Christmas
Oh
book.
no, 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 no! That's feast. That's Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's Thanksgiving. I thought it was Christmas.
But
Okay.
but I do have my first Christmas novella hopefully coming out this year.
Oh, I love stuff like that.
Me too. Like
It makes me feel so good inside.
Hallmarky. I tried it because I started out because people were saying like, "Oh, you can't like do this or do that with the same brand."
Hmm.
I do what I want to do. That's the
That
perk
part.
of being indie. So somebody who might love Wendy, which is more Hallmark with some spice, might be a little shocked when they read some other stuff. But it's like, listen, it's all me. It's all different sides of me. Sometimes I'm syrupy sweet. Sometimes I'm a little nasty. Sometimes
Yeah, because this right here, I was like, yeah, that's my type of stuff. I like when you get nasty in the books. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
So it's like,
Jacoby's voice, like when he reads, I'm like, Jacoby Denham. Oh my god.
are you in DM's Diamonds?
No.
Okay, well, that is a group of women who are obsessed with Jacoby DM, and I've actually done a lot of
What is
giveaways, a lot of
his
giveaways in there for my audiobooks and my ebooks.
voice?
You need to hook up with them. I'll send you Chanel Watson's information.
Okay.
They love him. Uh, so you are not alone in that one.
His voice is like, I'm like, okay, I need to turn my earphones off because this is too much. This is feeling, I'm
Somebody,
starting to feel
you know,
tingly inside.
somebody said he sounds like Tone Loc, and I cannot stop laughing. I'm like, why would you do that to me?
I was like,
Why would you do
Jesus.
that to me? I've been cracking up because I never would have heard that, but now I can't hear it.
I'm like, when he does those love scenes, I'm like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
Lord God, like this is sick. I can't believe I'm thinking these
These
thoughts in a voice.
narrators are, it's so many of them. There's a new one, Midnight Michael or something.
Mhm.
Emmanuel. I'm so bad at names, but there are so many good narrators. And like they're building like their own followings. I'm like, they're bigger than the authors. There are people that literally will just read my books just because Wesley did them. I'm like,
Wesley's amazing
I'm
too.
so I'm so like amazed at that. Like Girl, you are worth every penny that you charge because she gets our money.
Yes, she's absolutely amazing. I was like, oh, maybe I should do you know,
You
I was like, I should do audibles.
you have a voice for it, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
So
you already
listen,
have
your
the
next
equipment.
book, that could be my first. No, I'm just joking. But whatever book that you feel, I would love to do. I'll be honored.
Oh, that's so
I
cool.
would be honored. Like, listen, I'm not a big shot person. I don't ask for. Listen, I would love to
Listen,
just
shoot
for
your
the
shot.
experience.
Shoot your shot where you can.
Yep. Just for the experience. I'm like, yeah, just for the hell of it, I did an
Yeah,
audible book.
yeah.
So yes. So we're gonna get ready to end this interview, but I want everybody to. I mean, I'm gonna open up the floor. If anybody has any questions, you can ask questions, so we can wait for that for a little while. But other than that, can you tell people how they can follow you, what you have coming out next, what we could look for in the future? I think that is so important.
Okay. I am Tan Said What on all social media platforms.
Hmm.
My website is tanzaniaglover.com. Um, I think that's it. I'm like I don't have much. I'm very simple. Like those.
And you have merch. I am going to be
Oh,
purchasing some merch, and I'm going to take some cute
I
pictures
do
of
have
our
merch.
merch. You do?
I I have more merch coming. I'm like I forgot. I totally forgot I have merch.
Yeah, you do.
Um, what else do I have? I have some more book boxes coming up. I'm trying to decide because with the book event next year, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do some exclusive merch for the event.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go in debt for this event because I'm doing it big. I'm so excited for this. It's my first time to Atlanta, my first book event. I'm going to lose my damn mind.
That's exciting. Like,
It
congratulations.
is.
It's very
It is.
exciting.
Thank you. I was
And
so
you
excited.
deserve your flowers. I'm gonna start a thing. I have my water bottle because I don't drink either. I'm not really a big drinker, but I
Okay.
just want to give you a cheers.
I have my
Healthy water. I just want to give I want to give you a cheers for all of the accomplishments that you've done, for your
thank you.
resilience and for all the things that you're gonna do in the future. I'm manifesting Netflix, Amazon Prime,
Thank
Hulu,
you.
everybody,
Thank
every streaming service that your books are gonna be turned into movies or series. Like,
you. I hope
I'm
so.
wishing the best for you.
Thank you.
And I am very grateful that you gave me this opportunity to interview you. I'm a forever fan.
Thank
And
you.
I'm thankful that we have someone like you to open doors for women like us. I love
Oh wow, that means so much. It's. I mean, I've had the doors open for me for longer than I've even realized because again, I didn't see any ceilings, so I just walked up with the confidence to do it. But I didn't realize that women long before me have been putting in this work. So it is up to me to keep those doors open and lift as I climb and um, to always put on for Black women and especially the Black women that get the brunt of the, for lack of a better word, abuse. Um, for the Black women who are told that they're not good enough, they're too something, too big, too dark, too short, too tall, too whatever. You are just enough.
yes. And
Uh,
that's a great message.
yeah,
That is a great message that of just what you said. And that's resonating with me. You are enough. You
yeah.
are enough. That's the
And,
important
and
message.
of course, we all deserve love, but especially love from ourselves. Like, I think it was RuPaul, but I don't hear nothing about you loving somebody else until you love you.
Right.
Because that's when you'll know that it's for real.
Right. And I didn't even get into ask. See, we got to do part two of this interview. So I'm going to book you for part two, girl.
I'm
Because
going.
I want to talk about your cooking. You did say you were amateur cook.
I can't cook worth a damn. That was a joke. I'm an amateur chef. Amateur.
Amateur chef.
That is wordplay for don't eat nothing I cook. If it didn't come from the store, I
You know what I used to say? I can make a mean cereal.
listen. I can bake a little bit because you follow like the recipe exactly. Other than that, don't do it.
I know how to cook. I know how to cook. Like I've gotten way better over the years. Like now I'm good. Now I can't make you a whole southern collard greens and all that, but I could make you a good shrimp scampi and some seafood, or
I,
I could throw
I
down on
can
that
I
some
can
steaks.
I can bake you a cake following the instructions on the box.
Pinterest. Pinterest. Pinterest is my best friend. Pinterest, if I need any ideas from hair designs to nail designs to what I want to wear, what I want to eat, Pinterest is like my best friend. So
Okay.
I get it,
You
girl.
really need to get into Pinterest too, because I keep hearing
Yes.
great things about
Yes. Put your books up there. I'm telling you, Pinterest is the bomb. I love, love Pinterest.
Okay.
Well, I just want to thank you for, I don't want to hold up your time. I know it's Friday,
Yeah.
but I just want to thank you once again for coming on my show.
You.
Hopefully, I'll be able to have a whole bunch of other authors who write
Oh, you
and
will.
put on for our city. I'm manifesting it.
You will.
Alexandria, come on. I got one I manifested. It came true. But Alexandria, like, I really need
He's
you,
gonna do.
girl.
He's gonna do it.
Yes. So I'm thankful. So thank you so much. I hope that you have a blessed
Same to
year.
you.
Not day, not night, but
Yeah.
year in
Life.
years to come.
Yes.
And we gotta celebrate our birthday January 17th. That's a
Of
national
course.
holiday.
It is.
So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night. And until then, everyone, your secrets are safe with me. Thank you for watching the Curvaceous Diary episode 2.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you
Bye.
so much.
You're welcome.